So I'm here at Louis' Facebook Marketplace purchase graveyard. It's Labor Day and I don't have to work. I actually got the whole week off. Kind of weird. I don't really know what to do with myself. I'm always working. I never take time off. So figure I'll use this time to work on my car a little bit. I've been collecting things that I want to either install on the car or fix on the car, or just minor things that need updating and improving upon just to make the car more comfortable. So that's what I'm going to do today. I'm doing spark plugs. I honestly couldn't tell you the last time I did them. I do have a set that I had taken out of them that I kept as spares. They don't look bad. I replaced them in a timely manner and they were still good. So I'm kind of curious to see how these ones look, because I definitely haven't changed them since I put the motor in this chassis. So I'm just curious to see what they're gonna look like. So I bought new spark plugs. I did some patchwork on my drift seat. So there was a tear here and then a tear on like the inside. Let me see if I can get you guys over there. Yeah, so I just stitched on some purple. If you're wondering why I went with purple, well, purple's sick, first of all. Second of all, when I originally put this car together, and I put this handbrake in, this handbrake had a purple handle. Oh, that's actually another thing that needs to get fixed. I need to do something about this, because no matter how tight I make these and how much red Loctite I put on them, it always loosens up. So I think I may just put like a fat bead of JB Weld or something in there. Maybe I'll just take it out, like take the boot off and just weld it to that. But I kind of want to, I don't know, I kind of want to make it somewhat removable, you know what I mean? But yeah, that happened after one of the last like tough days of drifting. I was using this a lot, so that's just one thing that I noticed that definitely needs to be done. But back to the purple. So this had a purple handle before I replaced it, and I got purple pedals down here, dog. Yeah, they're from eBay. Yeah, they light up purple when I have my lights on. But what they help with is being able to heel toe and use one foot for two pedals. So I'm able to use my right foot for the gas and the brake, and I'm able to use my left foot for the clutch. So when I'm like slowing down and like trying to shift through the gears fast when I'm slowing down, I'm able to rev match and brake at the same time with my right foot. So that's really the only reason why I have like those, you know, the aftermarket pedal covers. Just it makes the pedals a little bit bigger, and it just gives you more room to be able to use the pedal, which is what they're there for. The pedals are there to be used. So the easier they are to use, the better off we are. So got purple pedals, got that purple patch on the seat, and then I also have a steering wheel that I want to install that has a purple horn surround, and I think it has a purple line on it. I don't know. I'm not too thrilled about the line. But I think it'll be cool to have an aftermarket steering wheel in this car, just because I have had an aftermarket steering wheel in my E36, but I don't really remember the reasoning for taking it out. I know I sold the quick release from it. That's exactly what it was. I sold the quick release and the steering wheel, and since I didn't have a quick release and a steering wheel, I wasn't going to just put it in the car. I originally did the quick release because it makes getting in and out of the car with the bucket seat so much easier. I don't know, I might be able to show it in this video depending on how long it takes me. I might put the seat back in today, I might not, I don't know. Brought it with me just in case. But with that seat in the car, with it being a halo seat, it sticks out to like here. So it doesn't really give me much room to get in and out of the car, because I gotta like squeeze between the wheel and the seat, and it's tight. It's tight. So that's the quick release made that so much easier getting in and out of the car. So I do kind of miss that, because that made it so that, you know, I didn't feel like I had to switch the driving seat out. I would just rock that all the time because it wasn't a pain to get in and out of the car. But with just the stock steering wheel and that, it's a pain getting in and out of the car. So what I'm gonna do, I think I'm gonna install the factory wheel, or install the aftermarket wheel, just so I can get like the feel for having an aftermarket wheel in the car again. It is, if I remember correctly, it is a little bit dished, and it is going on a short hub, so it might pull it back a little bit, it might push it out a little bit. I'm not really sure, but I do want to check it out. I do want to see, because I mean, technically it's Louis, but it is just sitting there. He doesn't, I mean, he has a car to put it in, but all of the cars have wheels, and I have a hub for my car, so I'm gonna put it in my car and see how I like it. So the steering wheel, spark plugs, the other thing, these cars all suffer from it. It happens every time. This is how I pop my hood. And that's not a big deal. I don't care. Ooh, struts could use some grease. Doesn't bother me any. But I had it, so this is the hood release cable. I had it so it was like tucked in here, and then when I needed it, I would grab I had a mini set of vice grips that I left in the door of the car, and I would get out of the car and I would put the mini vice grips on the wire, and I would just tug on it and it would pop the hood. But they were going to fail me at one of the drift events for tech because of that. Because they said, what if we had to get into your car, into your hood, to put out a fire? It would be dangerous, or if we don't know how to open the car, open the hood. So what we're gonna do is, we're not gonna fail you, but we're gonna trust that you're gonna go wrap some stuff around it to make it easy to just, you know, be noticeable and be pulled. So that's what I did. I wrapped a rag around it, and I wrapped electrical tape around the rag, and there's a little loop of wire in here, and you can just like grab it with your fist and yank, and it opens the cable. But I've got this like dangly thing out in the front of my car, and when I go to other tracks, they make fun of me for it. So I usually have it tucked in like this, and it's just like this little loop there, and I can see the shadow from it when I have my high beams on, and it's just super annoying. So I have a new latch, and the only thing that sucks is, so I have to remove this and this. I mean, obviously I have to pull this off, and I'm gonna have to pull, well, this section, it'll be easy, it just will come right out through the center hole here. But to put the new one in, I have to run it back under the what is this thing called, the radiator support, under that thing. I got to run it under the radiator support, into the fender, through the fender. After it goes through the fender, it comes into the chassis behind the fender, through like after where the firewall is, and then it's gonna come out up in here where it gets attached to this little knob right here, where there's going to be a handle here where I pull the handle. Super annoying, which is exactly why I haven't done it yet. So the fender has to come off, the plastic tray in the engine bay has to come off, and then I got to do some digging around up in the dashboard to make sure that I can get to the hole where it's going to come back into the chassis after being in like where the fender is. So that's going to be annoying, but it's time. She has been a great car and she deserves it. So while I let the motor cool down a little bit before I touch the spark plugs, because yes, I'm a big baby and I don't want to burn my hands, I'm going to do I'm going to start taking the fender apart, because I feel like that's going to be the most involved of this job here today, is going to be taking the fender off and doing the latch. So that's where we're going to start. And then if I have time after doing all of that other stuff, I also, it just reminded me because I pulled some pins out of my backpack before I grabbed the shop keys, because they were on top. I've got a trailer hitch. It's just a little guy. I'm not really expecting to like tow anything. Actually, the adapter that I got literally says right on it, do not use for towing. But what I do have is an e-bike. And the e-bike is really cool because, you know, I can ride it around and take it places and, you know, not waste my gas money in my car. But kind of sucks because I can't fit it in my car. And with not being able to fit it in my car, makes it kind of a pain in the ass to take it anywhere, because if I want to fit it in my car, I have to take it apart, and then obviously after I get there I have to put it all back together in order to, so I just don't use it. I mean, I use it, but just for like around town. So the goal is to install that. I'm just trying to figure out which door I should open. There's shit everywhere. We really got to clean this. That's really what I'm going to end up doing this week, is cleaning all of like the shop space. Because yeah, we have too much shit. But where was I? Oh yeah, tow hitch. That tow hitch was on my convertible, but since I sold the convertible, I don't have a car to put it on, so I'm gonna put it on this, and once it's on that, I'll be able to take my e-bike places. And I think that'll be wicked cool when I can bring the e-bike to the track with me, and then I essentially have a pit vehicle at the track, which is the coolest thing, because the worst part about the track is walking everywhere. So let's see what we got here. This is my little stack of junk, and by junk I mean just it's all just tires. So I got the cable set up. That's my little drip pan. I'm making a new one of those soon. But yeah, here's the setup. New latches, new, definitely not new, but they work, so that's all that matters. Fresh latches, fresh cable, and it's the proper length to go all the way into the car. And this is a little grommet that actually goes in the fender, and that's going to seal everything up nice so that it's all sealed good. Here is the pull tab for it. I don't need the base. The base is okay, but I said that backwards. I do need the base because it broke where the cable attaches to it there. But new base, new handle, and it actually has most of the hardware with it too, so that's cool. And then I've got the quick hub, and it's just a little short guy. My main concern is if I can get the clock switch to work on the back of this. If I can get the clock switch to work on the back of this, I'll probably do it. I really want to be able to have my horn work on the button there. So as long as I can attach the horn switch to that, that'll be cool. And then here's the steering wheel. It's got like a super faded purple stripe. It's got a purple blah blah blah. It's got a bit of a dish going on, but I think it'll look pretty good in the car. That's obviously as long as I can get that working. So it's an NRG. It's got an NRG button. Got a purple ring there. What's this one? I know it's got two of them. That's another one and another ring. So let's get started here. I'm gonna start pulling the fender off and getting ready to run the new latches and the new cable through the fender. Alright, so fender, super easy to remove. If it's all still factory, it's either like a T27 or a T30, and there's 1, 2, 3, 4 of them, and then underneath the front of the hood latch, or not latch, but hinge, there is a 10 millimeter, so it slides under just the front. Then in the door there's a 10 millimeter that goes there, and then on the bottom there's another 10 millimeter. And I wasn't gonna film this part, but I think it needs to be shown. This car has always had fender liners. Yes, it's a wide body, but it has fender liners, meaning there's not really a gap to get back here. And back here, people always wonder why do the fenders always rot out on these things? Well, even with fender liners and side skirts, because I took the side skirts off. I don't want to take it apart any further because of how disgusting this is. There is, on the bottom side of this, there is a 10 millimeter and a 10 millimeter. If I remove them, they're not going back in. So what I'm gonna do is try and do this whole job without destroying this fender. Just try and get as much of the junk out of here as possible. This, I'm really just showing you guys this so you can clean your car. I'm gonna lift this up here for a second and show you, look at all of the stuff that came out of inside my fender. I run side skirts, so nothing's getting in or out of that gap. And I run a fender liner, so in theory, nothing should be getting in that gap either. But it does. Even on stock cars, this bottom panel always rusts out. Always. It's part of the reason why I haven't wanted to do this, is because I know this is always a problem with these cars, is the fenders rusting out. So this one, everything's still kind of solid. The fender obviously has seen better days. It's not super solid. It's pretty fucking rusted, but it's fine for what I use the car for. So we're gonna continue on with the cleaning, and well, not cleaning, we're done with the cleaning. I've cleaned as much as I want to, but here is the hood release cable. So it goes from up in the front here, it goes under the radiator support, and then it runs on the inside of the fender, like in the engine bay, and then it goes through this rail here, down here, and down there it ends up coming out into the chassis through this spot right here. And as you can see, the factory one from this car is still in place, because this is the first time I have ever taken this fender off. So let me just prop that there for a minute. Go grab a couple wheels to set it on. I could probably get away with just one, just so I don't destroy that fender bottom that's already weak. So now I can get the rest of this cable out. So it kind of stinks because it actually goes between the fuse box here, which is extremely hard to get to. So I may be better off, I don't know which way I'm going to be better off. I don't know. I'm going to wing it. Let's see how it goes. Alright, so a little update. There is the old broken one. There is the broken end of the wire with the loop that I had in it. I had to take the rag off in order to remove it. I got this section out. It actually doesn't come up by the fuse box. It runs in this channel along the fender. So I don't know if that's going to make it easier or harder, but that's where it goes. And then this section should just be a little rubber tab, and then it should just come out the rest of the way. But it's still, oh wait, no, it's still attached down there. So now I got to come up in here. I have to remove this panel, this whole panel, the whole thing, so that I'm able to get down yeah, so let's get to removing that. But I'm like right there. All right, so I am all done. I did my spark plugs. I did the hood release cable, and I installed an aftermarket steering hub and wheel. So what do we think? I don't love it. I think it makes the car look kind of cheap. Not that an aftermarket steering wheel looks cheap, just the fact that this purple is a different color than this purple, and that's also a different color than that purple. So I just don't love the wheel. I like the aftermarketness of having a wheel. I think it'll be good for drifting. However, I don't love the look of the NRG wheel. I think it gives it a little bit of a cheapness. But yeah, it also puts the wheel out further than the factory one, which I should have known. It's not my first time installing a wheel on an E36, so I should have known that the hub and a deep dish wheel was going to put the wheel closer in my lap. But it just gives me the motivation to actually get a wheel that I like. I'll probably end up doing, so the hub's already on and I already have a wheel. So what I'm going to end up doing, well, I don't love this wheel. Louis can keep this wheel. I'm not going to buy this wheel from him. I'm going to buy my own wheel. It not going to be a dish. It's going to be a flat face. That way it's not so close to me. And a quick release. So with doing a quick release and a flat face, it basically puts it where it is now. Yeah, but that'll be good. I did my spark plugs. Spark plugs are all set. Those are the ones that came out of the car. They're not too bad. Honestly, they didn't need to be changed. But it is what it is. I'd rather change them prematurely and have fresh ones in there as often as possible than for it to, you know, start misfiring under boost because I didn't feel like changing, you know, $30 worth of parts. But that's basically it. The oh, and my hood. That actually gave me the most problems. But it releases. The latches that I replaced were not centered the best. So this one, there's something going on with this one where I think it's the mounting bracket is a little bit bent, so it's not perfectly square in this hole. You can see this one is towards like the back of the hole, and you can see this one is towards like the front of the hole. So when I initially closed my hood, I was like, awesome, cool, we're done. Wow, I need to wash it. You can tell how many times I was trying to open and close the hood. But I came over here. This, it's always tight. I hate how tight these things are, but it just releases. It doesn't feel like the cable's stretching or anything. But when I did that, what ended up happening was I would pull up on it and it didn't feel like it would release. It felt like it was like the passenger side latch was still latched. However, when I looked up in here, I could see that the latch was not latched. And what ended up happening was, like I said, this is too far back. So after it released, what ended up happening is there's a little bit of a lip right here. And this little bit of a lip right here was catching on like the spring. So it was just holding it, making it feel like it was not open. But got that all fixed. Fender is back on. The gap is not the best. I could definitely use some panel alignment here. But yeah, that's pretty much, that's gonna do it for today. The hood release was way more involved than I thought it was going to be. Well, that's a lie. I knew it was going to be a pain in the ass, which is why I put it off doing it for so long. But since that took me so long to do, what I'm going to end up doing is not doing the tow hitch today. That's just going to have to wait for another day, whether it be tomorrow or some other day this week. But I have the week off from work, so that's awesome. That's rare. I'm going to try and use that to my advantage and get as much done on this car as possible, because I really slack when it comes to maintaining this thing. Not that it's not that it needs a ton of maintenance, but since I drive the car every day and since I use the car for work, I try to not start big jobs on it, because if I start a job and the job starts to, you know, kick my ass a little bit, I have to finish it. I have to finish it so I can get to work, which has really been super annoying. But now that I have another car that runs, I'm really feeling maintaining this thing better. Not that I don't maintain it, I really, like, I'll avoid driving it instead of maintaining it. Like, if it needs an oil change or something, I'll be like, well, I'm just not going to drive it right now because it needs an oil change or whatever. But yeah, it's a good car. I want to try and keep it a good car. So it's my week off from work. I don't have to wake up and go into work every morning, so I am gonna do some stuff for Louis so we can go drifting. You know, get him some of his drift cars back together. But yeah, for the most part, I'm literally going to dedicate this week to maintaining my car. So I'll probably end up putting the Miglias back on in the rear. I want to do that tow hitch. Now I have to buy a quick release and a steering wheel. I'll probably won't do that this week, but that is something that I definitely want to do now. But yeah, I'm happy with the day. I'm content with myself. I'm glad I ended up, you know, coming over here and working on the car a little bit. I almost didn't again, but you know, sometimes you have to start doing the project in order to motivate yourself to finish it, because you don't always have the motivation to start. So I forced myself to start, and what do you know, I don't have any dangly thing in the front of my car anymore. That's awesome. The front of the car actually looks decent. I can take the nose panel off and repaint it and repaint the bumper. Oh, and I also have my my M-style bumper. I can put the M-style bumper on with the, I have like a M-style rear valance for above the muffler here. So I can put that on. So I'll probably do that when I do the tow hitch. just because if I'm going to be messing around under and near the back bumper, I might as well install the bumper that looks cooler on the car too, right? So that's the plan for the week. It's going to be a lot of working on the turbo sedan, and honestly, I'm excited for it. Look at all the bugs on this thing. That's just from parking here. Like, look at all of the bugs. I don't know what I put on this car that attracted all these bugs, but they all landed on it, and they're all dead. I don't know. That's weird. But I'm gonna go home, eat some dinner. I hope you guys have a great night. Peace.